Your boy is back in the building with a sore throat. I was screaming and shouting last night. I had to deal with all these crazy YouTubers, but we dealt with them. But we're back. We haven't done a Sunday session live for ages, like months. And I thought, you know what? We got to do one. We've just got to do a Sunday session live. I'm not busy. I'm at home chilling. Let's get to the studio. Let's get on the green chair and let's talk some bloody boxing, because a lot of boxing happened last night. A lot of boxing, big time boxing as well. It wasn't just that we had loads of cards. Obviously, we had a card in Australia, we had a card in the US, we had a card in the UK. It wasn't just because of that, but we had big fighters on those cards as well. Big fighters. So I thought, you know what, let's just do a live for an hour and talk a load of shit, right? Let's talk. Firstly, thank you so much for spending your Sunday evening with me. I really appreciate it. But let's see. You know what? Let's not waste any time. Let's go straight into this. Punch Perfect Boxing. Big up Ade. Big up Punch Perfect. One of those up and coming guys. Future's bright for Punch Perfect. I wonder what he wants to do. What's his plan with this YouTube boxing scene? Because he's very, very good at what he does. What's this one? Shegun Johnson Afilaka says, my boy Deontay Wilder is back. We're going to talk about Deontay Wilder. Yeah, he is back. He is back. It's clear. I know people are saying, well, you can't really tell much from that fight because it ended so quick. Well, again, you can tell that he's still got that forehammer. You know what makes me laugh? Some people have compared it to the Malik Scott knockout, like the phantom punch. Are people crazy? Did you not see that punch land? Did you not see the way Hellenius's arm stiffened? He was out. Like, it was out. Come on, we know Deontay. Like, it's not as though Deontay Wilder isn't a big puncher. He caught Hellenius clean. And it wasn't even full connection, but Deontay Wilder can hit, man. Which makes it all the more incredible that in that third fight, the punch, very similar to that Tyson Fury fight, wasn't it? But in the third fight, the one that he landed on Fury, how Fury got up from that, when everyone else seems to be out cold, how Fury continues to get up from Wilder's punches, I'll never know. I will never know. Cy H, good evening, Ade. Cy H in the house. I've missed you, brother. I've missed everyone as well. We are going to try and get a bit more consistent with these. We'll try. We'll try. Lee the Bald Guy. Yes, Ade. Yes, my brother. Cy H says, what a weekend of boxing. It really was. It was. Like, I was doing that DAZN Misfits thing. And I was like, hurry up, man. I want to get to the hotel and watch Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall. I missed the Baumgardner fight. I've obviously watched it now. But I watched the Claressa Shields, Savannah Marshall fight live. What a fight that was. Jesus Christ. Leader Ball Guy says, I got all my predictions wrong. I actually got a couple right for once. I said that Claressa would win. I said that Baumgardner would win. But look, anything can happen, man. These fights are so close. So don't be too hard on yourself, brother. Christopher Klaus, Eden Ade, was a great fight night. Too bad Savannah lost, but I think Shields' quick start surprised her. Yeah, it did. Shields was on the front foot immediately. I thought maybe she thought Shields would fight maybe a bit more back-footed, maybe a bit more of a counter-punch style. But Shields was like, let's go for it. Let's go for it. And Savannah's feet was really slow, but Savannah did, look, credit to Savannah. She didn't give up. She kept chopping away. And there were times where Claressa was on the ropes and Savannah was swinging away. There looked like a massive size difference between the two as well. They might do it again, you know. Like, and I'm thinking like immediately, because you look at what's out there for Claressa. There ain't much out there, you know. There ain't much. I know she talks about she can get down to 154, and she's even spoken about maybe even a catchweight fight at someone at 147. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think the weight cut's difficult for her. She's a big, thick-set girl. So what else is out there? I mean, what else is going to generate that much interest? What else is going to generate that much hype? It was a close enough fight to do it again, so she might do it again. Christopher Klaus says, Wilder hit Helenia so hard, his brains went back to Finland. Mate, honestly, that's why I don't understand when people are saying things like it wasn't a real knockout. You guys are crazy. A super chat here from JD_05. Thank you very much. Says, How much fun did you have at the X Series 002? A lot of fun. Like, I get it. It's not for everyone. Trust me. There was even a few fights there where I was like, what is this shit? I was that. But you must feel like you can just, as a presenter, like, just, it's easy. Because it isn't so rigid. You can laugh, you can joke, you can jump around, you can do whatever you want. And I think for me as a presenter, it's just a lot of fun and I enjoy doing it. I really do. Again, we'll read at the super chats, but we will go back. You know what I do. We'll go back to all the questions in order. Kayoshi says, it's so good to have you back for a Sunday session, Ade. What an incredible weekend of boxing across the world. Boxing really needed it this week. Yeah, it did. Like, you think what's happened with boxing in the last 3 weeks? We've had all this AJ Fury crap and that not happening. Then we've had this Eubank Ben stuff, which is still like ongoing. And I guess some of you are going to ask questions about that. So it needed an injection of just goodness. And we got it. We really did. Like, so many fights, honestly. Like, I mean, even Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell, that knockout from Caleb Plant and him digging the grave. By the way, I don't mind that digging the grave shit. People are really sensitive. Anthony Durrell was talking a lot of smack, a lot of shit. What's the problem? Tito Ortiz, I don't know how old you guys are, but Tito Ortiz, former UFC fighter, always used to do that. That was his thing. No one said anything then. I don't have a problem with it whatsoever. I really don't. 2 seconds, peeps. A couple of super chats have just come in. Alex Chavez says, again, really appreciate the super chats. Thank you. Says, great KO from Wilder, but I'm not sure Usyk will be that easy to catch. What do you think? Support him from Yuma, Arizona, USA. Usyk gets touched, you know. As much as people like to wax lyrical about Usyk, put my hand up. I'm one of those people that wax lyrical about him. Usyk does get caught. No, he doesn't get caught to the point where, you know, you're going to finish him, but he gets caught. You look at all these fights, apart from maybe even Gassiev. I mean, that was pretty much a shutout. Even Gassiev caught him. Bellew caught him. Chisora caught him a couple of times. So I think Wilder definitely can catch him. Like, Wilder's right hand ain't slow. I mean, don't get me wrong, you know it's coming, but to avoid it and evade it's a completely different thing. So I don't know if Usyk can go 12 rounds without getting caught. I don't know. And the reason I say 12 rounds is because we've seen that Wilder seems to carry that power throughout. Like, he isn't like a lot of fighters, maybe because he is so wiry. He's not bulking up too much. A lot of fighters seem to only carry their power for the first 5 or 6 rounds, and then the power kind of just sort of vanishes, doesn't it? Wilder, we've seen him knock out people late. Like, he carries that power throughout, and I don't know if Usyk can avoid that. That being said, I think Usyk has underrated power. I spoke to AJ about this. Usyk could hurt Wilder, so it isn't just a one-way street. It could go both ways. So many questions coming in. Fuck. Again, super chat. Alexander Wilson says, Shields' boxing IQ was better than Marshall's. She realized that she could smother Marshall's work. Also, Shields' corner was the superior one. Maybe. That's debatable. I mean, look, 2 very, very good cornermen. Very, very good. I just think Shields was just very good. But Shields is a double Olympic gold medalist. Shields is undisputed now in 3 weight classes. Like, she's legit. She's legit. I think her aggression maybe surprised Savannah a bit, because obviously this was supposed to be or billed as boxer versus puncher. So you would have thought that maybe Shields would have been a bit more tentative, a bit really not wanting to engage, but she was willing to engage immediately. And I think she almost wanted to, it's going to sound a bit stupid, she got cracked a couple of times and she ate them. And I think that gave her confidence as well. It's like, okay, Savannah, you're a big puncher. You hit me. I'm still here. Then what? And look, great fight. Honestly, great fight. It's one of those fights where I'm probably going to go home and watch it again. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the atmosphere. And the confidence levels on Claressa and Alicia Baumgardner, I mean, they could bottle that fucking shit up and sell it for £1,000. Confidence levels are through the roof. All right, one more super chat and then we're going to go straight back to the top. John McLaughlin says, do you think Wilder's the hardest hitting heavyweight ever? The way he starches people is scary. Didn't even look like he loaded up. Yeah, you know what? He might just be. Bearing in mind, he's only 214 pounds. Like, he's so undersized compared to the guys in and around the heavyweight division now. And we all know he would starch 99% of them. Like the way he's putting people to sleep, it's look, look, Elenius ain't no scrub, you know. I know some people are like, oh, I knew he was going to beat Elenius, and I said it was going to be a tough fight. I said Wilder will get the job done, but I said it'll be a tough fight. Elenius came off of 2 very, very good wins against Kalinaki. So it wasn't like Elenius was some bum off the street. He starched him. Like literally, Elenius was out. You could count for a minute. He ain't getting up. Madness. Madness. All right, let's go straight back to the top. Let's do this in some sort of order. All right, Dede Treek says speed kills. All I have to say about Shields versus Marshall. Yeah, Marshall's feet were a bit slow. Maybe she came in a tad bit heavy. I don't know what her ring weight was on the night weight. Maybe she came in a bit heavy, but Shields is the lighter fighter. But look, that's how the fight was always going to play out. I always felt like Shields was going to start very, very fast, and Marshall might get her down the stretch if she was going to get to her, just because I knew Shields wouldn't be able to knock out Marshall. And if Marshall's still there, still got the power, you never know. You know, 3-minute rounds would have been very interesting in that fight. Not saying it would have been different, but there were times when I was like, okay, Shields needs to get off the rope here. And the bell just came. So 3-minute rounds would be interesting. But again, Shields is like elite. Bottle Imp Book says, how did you rate Caleb Plant's return? Can you see him becoming a world champion again? Potentially. We have to see what happens with Canelo and where the belts will go. I don't think Canelo's going to hold on to all these belts for too long. But let's also remember he's fighting Anthony Durrell, who is way past his best. But look, you can only beat what's in front of you. And it was good to see Caleb Plant back. I thought the way in which he set up that knockout was clean, went to the body. Anthony Durrell took his hands down and bang. And that was it. So, yeah, look, good confidence building fight for him. We'll see. I mean, for me now, really, surely it's got to be Benavidez. Like, has to be, doesn't it? And then the winner of that, then, which I think will be Benavidez, then you can sell the Canelo fight a bit more, but we'll see. The Boxing Fact says, did Baumgardner do enough to win? I thought she either won the fight or at best it was a draw. That's all I can give Michaela Meyer. At best it was a draw. You know, listening to that fight back this morning, yeah, I've noticed, and I've seen this with commentators, like I work with some very good commentators, but I noticed if you have a fighter in mind that you want to win, your commentating will be so biased towards that. Like just from the very first round, the way in which they're commentating, I'm like, 1 second, am I not watching the same fight? Like, I thought they were commentating every time Maya done some good work. It's almost like you're forgetting the work that Baumgardner did. Like from the first round, they kept on saying, oh, you know, Maya's, you know, got this at her own pace and jab. And I'm like, what? Honestly, I missed it. So look, I thought Baumgardner started fast. I thought Maya came on very well, but I thought Baumgardner did enough to win just. And there's been a lot of talk about why Baumgardner giving her the rematch and blah, blah. Baumgardner's always said she wanted Choi. She wanted Choi before she wanted Michaela Maya. Choi, I think's got a fight in a couple of weeks. I saw a fight poster for it. Choi's actually signed with Matchroom, so it's an easy in-house fight to make. So if you're Baumgardner, you do that. You do that, and then, you know what? You might be lucky to have the Maya fight still there. Personally, I would love to see Baumgardner fight Choi and then Amanda Serrano versus Baumgardner. That's a fight I want to see. That's a shootout. That would be an incredible fight, that one. What's this one? What did you think about the Maya bout? Dodgy decision to me. Not a highway robbery, but I think Maya edged that one. Close. It was close. I just mentioned it was close. A couple of swing rounds where you maybe, you know, again, this one's quite difficult. I'm a Baumgardner fan. So when I'm watching it, I may be like, oh, if it's close, I'm giving it to Baumgardner. If you're a Maya fan and you're watching it, you're giving it to Maya. So that's probably the way in which I kind of sort of reason it in my head. But I thought Baumgardner done enough to win that fight. I thought so. Christopher Klaus says, Haney versus Loma is the fight to make now. Kambosos did better than last time, but Haney so damn good. Yeah, I thought Kambosos was a bit better. You know how mad it is, considering how dead on the scales Haney looked. How he just literally came in the ring so big, and he's like, just the energy. I'm like, he literally looked like he was going to die on the scales, and all of a sudden he's energized and ready to go. But yeah, look, Kambosos did better, but Haney, and I think Kambosos mentioned this on his Instagram post after, Haney's just better. Haney is just better. There's no two ways about it. And the fight to make now is Haney versus Loma. You could do Haney versus Loma. You can do Shakur. Like literally, these guys have got to fight. Rich, it literally has to be Ryan versus Gervonta. That has to happen next. Problem is weight class. Ryan wants it at 140. Gervonta wants it at 135. Two different broadcasters. That's going to take a lot of sorting out. But the other side, Shakur, Haney, and Loma, you can make all that shit now. You can do all that now. All with Top Rank, in-house fights, pay-per-view in America. Do it. Do it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, a couple of super chats. We are going to go back. Don't worry. You've got me for a good hour. We're gonna stay and answer a lot of questions. 2 seconds. What's this one from Punch Perfect Boxing? What did you make of Plant's celebration? I have been frustrated by the lack of finishing instinct in the past, so I thought the care followed by the celebration was cold. I get the criticism though. I love it. I don't mind it at all. I've always thought that Plant for me was a bit, especially after the Canelo fight, I thought he lost a little bit from fans. When after the Canelo, obviously, look, you're still concussed, but when he was very, did you thought I did well kind of thing. I wanted to see a bit more of a dog from Caleb Plant, and these two have always had a bit of back and forth. At the press conference, like I said, Anthony Durrell was going back and forth with him, and I knew Caleb was going to do something if he won. I loved it. I don't mind it. I mean, look, I can understand what people are saying. It's a dangerous sport. It doesn't look good. I get all that. But look, I mean, you're going to trash talk someone and they smoke you. Expect something. Expect something. So I don't mind it at all. And I want that kind of dog to stay within Caleb Plant. I want a bit of that. I think we saw it a little bit in the build-up to the Canelo fight. Keep that, because you're going to need it going forward. You're going to need it. What's this one? Liam Roskell, appreciate it, dude. Says Cesar Matteo Tapia versus Abdoulaye Sacco. What a war. Liam Parra needs a big fight next. He'll be a problem for anyone at 140. Didn't watch the first fight. As for Liam Parra, I'm actually doing a DAZN boxing show with Tony Bellew talking about that fight with Jarvis Brook in about an hour. Yeah, look, let's see. Let's see what happens. I mean, I actually saw him because he's based in America. I saw him at the GGG Canelo fight. Massive for the weight, by the way. Honestly, very big for the weight. I know Brook Jarvis looked very big, but he's very big for the weight, very strong. And look, that's a great finish. What a finish. So we'll see what you can do at 140. 140 is a weird one now because there is no one ruler anymore. Like, I don't think anyone believes Josh Taylor's that ruler of the division. Now all the belts have been scattered. So people are going to be belt hunting. And he could be one of those guys that in the next year or so get one of those vacant belts or get a belt. We'll see. What's this one? King OP the Great. I like that name. I might have to. Is this guy got a YouTube channel? I like that. Big Man Addy. Does Eddie's dismissal of Varda's findings last week jeopardize future matchmaking? Boatsie's protestations look invalid at this point. It's interesting, right? And I guess this is the problem. And so this is why I don't think this thing's going away anytime soon. Not just like we wait and see what Conor Benn's going to reveal in the next week or so. It looks like he's going to reveal something. But all of this now, there's a big problem. You can't necessarily do what Eddie did with the VADA thing by using VADA then finding something and it not being shut down then immediately. Like, okay, everything's off. Now there's going to be a problem. Obviously, we had the Boatsy John Pascal situation. There's been others. It's going to be a big problem. I think this isn't going to go away anytime soon. It really isn't. Because now people are going to be asking questions of things like, how many times in the past did this happen? Like, if it wasn't for the Daily Mail leaking it, would the fight have gone ahead? Eddie Hearn has said yes, it would have gone ahead. So I guess, look, we can only take his word with that. But there's so much problems with this, so much. I can't wait to hear what Conor has to say. I can't wait because look, I want him to somehow be innocent, but it's gonna take a lot. Honestly, it's gonna take a lot. What's this one? Quinn 40 says, Eden Ade, a long time. Good to see you. Totally skipping last night. I have a question. How the hell did a man like Rob Tebbit link up with such a rude boy like Costello? Big man things. No idea. Honestly, no. I don't even, like, no idea. I can't even think of something for you. Strange. What a strange link up, but it almost weirdly works, doesn't it? I think Castillo is just refreshing in the boxing scene. You know why? Because he'll come in and he'll ask anything. He don't give a fuck. And I think that's so refreshing in boxing. He'll say what he wants, and look, it works. Look, not all the time. And I think even Robert said this. He's not going to use him all the time, but there are some instances where you just want a bit more of a casual, laid-back approach as opposed to kind of the same repetitive questions. So, yeah, man, I like it. I like it. All right, let's get back to the questions. Where were we? I can't believe how many come in. Base the Kid is in the building. Ade, what up? What up, brother? Base the Kid doing some good stuff. Wait, are you still doing your YouTube channel, brother? I need to double check that. If he is still doing his YouTube channel, please, guys, go and check out Base the Kid's YouTube channel. Let's support, right? That's what this community is about. A lot of you said hi and evening people. Someone just said October Red is in the building. Very nice. Nigel PXL says, what's good, Ade? What's good, people? Loads of you. All right. What's this? Porky8719 says, I watch without commentary and I had Baumgardner up by 1 round. Very close. Very, very, very close fight. Honestly, it was such a good fight, though. Inside Boxing Brain says, great card and brilliant for women to be leading the charge in world-class boxing. You know what the best thing about that card was? It's not just that it was an all-female fight card. It was elite females fighting. Like that was the best of the best. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what was so good. It's all well and good putting on female fight cards, but if the standard isn't good, you're showcasing something that people are going to eventually laugh at and dismiss. Because it was so good, like it's a win. It's a 20,000 people were tuning in for that. Like everything was a win. The whole build-up. And look, these ladies didn't moan. Obviously, when Her Majesty the Queen passed, and that was literally what, the day before the weigh-in, that could have turned their heads all over the place. The fact they were able to still keep the card intact, the promotion was insane, done by the ladies, and then the fights delivered. And it wasn't just them. Again, Lauren Price on the card, elite boxer. Caroline Dubois will become a world champion. It literally was tick, 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 tick. Well done, boxer. Well done, Sky. Honestly. This is a good question. Base the Kid, who would you like to see the 4 main eventers in with next? Let's. I already said. I don't know if you were listening. I already said that Baumgardner's going to fight Choi next. Fact, if Choi gets through her fight, but I would love to see Baumgardner versus Serrano. If they're not doing the Serrano Taylor stuff, Baumgardner versus Serrano. Take my money, whatever you want to charge, I'm paying. Who should? There's so much out there, you know. You know, the problem is, this is why I didn't want Tasha Jonas to go up in weight. Because if Tasha hadn't have gone up in weight, then you would honestly say, okay, I'd like to see Tasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayer. I don't know if Tasha Jonas now can come back down in weight. I'm not quite sure. I think I asked her, and I think she kind of said for the right fight, she would sort of kill herself to go back down, but that's a great fight. I think if I'm Savannah Marshall, you guys remember sort of, what's her name? Big Hitter Diva? She's the 168-pound champion. The Undisputed. She fought on the undercard of Katie Taylor Serrano. Savannah could beat her. If I'm Savannah, I'm looking at that thinking, you know what? Yes, I want Claressa next, but if I'm not going to get Claressa next, there's no one else at 160. Why don't I fight her? So I'd like to see her go up. For Claressa, it'd be interesting to see what she does. She's obviously come out and said that she can make 154, potentially a super fight with someone at a catch weight between 147 and 154. I don't know. I think for her, if she doesn't do a catch weight fight, I think she'll fight Savannah next, but we'll see what happens. But that's a good question, dude. BB says Wilder would KO Fury now. No one's KOing Fury, it seems, bro. Wilder's hit him with his best punch. Fury got up. Fury ate it and got up. No. What I did like about Wilder, though, that lighter weight, honestly, I think that lighter weight was good. Even before he got the knockout, I know it was the first round, right? So he's not going to be tired. But even before he got the knockout, you can see he's lighter on his feet. The way he was moving back into position, not so stocky, and he didn't look as weighed down. That's a great fighting weight for Wilder. It really is. Laura Kavanagh says, good evening, Ade. The women's boxing was brilliant. Did think Maya won. Disappointed in Marshall. A lot of people are saying that about Marshall. I disappointed in terms of you're disappointed she didn't win or disappointed in the performance. If you're saying disappointed in the performance, you can't be. You can't be disappointed just because you have to understand who she's fighting. And she's fighting an elite level boxer in Claressa Shields. Some with good hands, some with the dog in her. You can't be disappointed. Savannah Marshall will come back again. Look, they could fight 2 or 3 times again, and Savannah might nick one. But yeah, don't be disappointed. And with regards to Maya winning, it was super close. I thought Baumgartner did it, but I can understand why you'd think that. Soldier Boy Health and Fitness Channel says, even at do you think that Savannah Marshall has morphed into Hughie Fury a bit? I personally think that her movement too much, which could have taken away some of her power. What are you saying? I personally think that her movement is too much. Is that what you're saying? Which could have taken away. No, look, again, I don't want to. If you watch all her fights, that's how she fights. That's how she fights. But the difference is when she tags people with the punches that and look, she landed a couple on Claressa. She cracked her. But normally when she lands those punches, people fall over. That's the difference. So Claressa was able to eat them, and not just eat them, Claressa was able to fire her own as well. Fire off the ropes, spin off the ropes. She had never faced anyone like Claressa. You could say Claressa has never faced anyone like Savannah, which is true. But look, if you, in a boxer versus puncher fight, regardless of the puncher, I'm always going with the boxer. Always. And in the end, the boxer won. But the boxer proved that she can also punch as well. So, yeah, look, great fight. Honestly, great fight. What's this one? Yo, Ade, you're hooking us up with this live tonight. We're in. And Ian Hamilton, what's good, brother? Rangers fan, aren't you, Ian? I think you are. More of these, please. Missed them. I missed them as well, guys. Most of the time on a Sunday, I've done the boxing event on a Saturday, and I'm coming home on a Sunday, and I'm very tired. But today, I left Sheffield early, like 7:30 in the morning. So yeah, we're here. We've got a bit of energy. BS Rugby says, evening, sir. Great job last night on the Zone for the Misfits. Thank you very much. Dean Bastone says, what's good, Ade? What's good in the hood? I'm going to read this one out. Dan, I feel for you missing out on Savannah Marshall for that YouTube garbage. You know what, though? I will say about this, that YouTube garbage, as you put it. That shit is fucking entertaining. Honestly, it has its space. I know some people really hate it. You know what I like that they're doing is separating it from quote-unquote real boxing. Remember a couple of years ago when they had Billy Joe Saunders, was it Andre or Haney? I think it was Haney. And then they had YouTubers above it. No. But if you can just put it in its own space and leave it over there, fine. Honestly, fine. I don't have a problem with it. I understand what I'm watching. I watch so much real boxing that I understand what I'm watching when I watch these guys. But what I will say, a lot of these guys are coming in shape. They're trying the hardest. They got crazy social media followings. And I think boxing or boxers can learn from a few of them. Honestly, like even when these guys were all at the weigh-in and the press conferences, and it was mad. Like they've all got their cameramen with them, and they're chucking up YouTube content straight away. They're doing it. Whereas boxers here rely on the promoters and wait for the promoters to do it. If I'm a boxer today and I don't have a YouTube channel, and again, the boxer doesn't have to fucking do the YouTube channel. You get someone to do it. You're missing out on something. You need some sort of connection with your fans. So I think boxers can learn from it. That's my own thought. Arsenal Joel says, good evening, Ade. You're a legend. Thank you. Shields looked a level above, unfortunately. It's mad Wilder. Have I read that correctly? Or was your English as bad as mine? Yeah, look, Shields did look a level above. No, actually. Not a level above, no. I wouldn't say a level above. She looked better, but not a level above. And are you saying that Wilder being back is bad? If you are correct, sir. Cy H says that was knockout of the year. Nah, I don't know about that. Don't know about it was good, but I don't know about knockout of the year. We've had some good ones, you know. We've had some really, like even Joe Cordina's was clean. Don't forget that. Don't forget. Let's not have that memory where we just remember stuff now. Just going to quickly read a couple of super chats that have come in, but don't worry, you know, we'll get back to you people. 2 secs. They're right at the bottom. Again, another one here saying that Shields was technically levels above Marshall. Yeah, I think we all knew that though, didn't we? That shouldn't have surprised you. Like technically, Shields was always like if anyone you asked would have said that. But Marshall had that punch, right? Bigger puncher. So it was all we all knew that. Very much. Obviously, this is a bad comparison, but you know the Fury Wilder comparison. Obviously, that Wilder as the punch and Fury technically a lot better. So that's what made it interesting. Like, what would happen if Savannah landed? But we saw early what happened. Savannah landed and Claressa took it. And that was a problem, I think, mentally for Savannah. Like, knowing that normally those punches lay out people or you see a little wobble. She didn't get any reaction really from Claressa. And mentally, that's a bit of a problem. But she kept on going, so you got to give her credit. Alexander Wilson says, Ade, are you talking about the 168-pound champion, Franchon Cruz-Dezurn? That's the one, yes. She is really good and would be a tough fight for Marshall. Cruz would be the favorite. No, she wouldn't be. No. I wouldn't. I was ringside for her fight. She fought the Swedish lady. So yeah, obviously her real name is Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, but I think her moniker or nickname is Heavy Hitting Diva. I think that Savannah's. It's funny because I think technically Savannah's actually way better than her in terms of toughness. They're very close. I mean, Franchon Cruz-Dezurn actually gave Savannah. I mean, so it gave Claressa some good work. I think in Clarissa's first or second fight as a pro, but I would favor Savannah in that one. And if I'm Savannah, I'm looking at that. Whether or not Savannah has to go to America, I think, to be fair, Franchon Cruz-Dezurn, if watching yesterday would come over, I think that's what I would go for. Super chat here from Jake Jansen. Wilder, for a 14-year career, has one top 10 heavyweight. Jeez, yeah. Ortiz, wasn't it? Really? Yeah, it's just Ortiz. Jeez. Where is it? Bloody hell. Joe Donnelly, super chat says, hey, Ade, where you want Haney to go now? Personally, I would love for him to fight Loma. Keep up the great work. Yeah, it has to be Loma. Obviously, Loma's got a fight coming up. Let's see how Loma looks. He's been out the ring for a while, Loma. A while. These guys now seem to have no fear when it comes to fighting Loma. There certainly was a bit of fear before, or at least a bit of trepidation from their management teams or the promoters to put them in with each other. I think that fear's gone. Haney is undisputed. My only problem with Haney, looking at him yesterday on the scales, that motherfucker needs to go up to 140 now. Like now. Forget the belts. You become undisputed. Go up and chase belts at 140 because he looked bad. So in an ideal world, if he can make 135 one more time, Loma. But for me, go up to 140 and try and become a 2-weight world champion. That's what I think he should do. JD_05 with a super chat again. Thank you so much. Says the X Series card in January will be stacked. It will be. I know a lot of people watching this ain't very interested in it, but it will be. KSI's fighting. Logan Paul looks like he's going to fight as well. So yeah, cool. 2 secs. Maestro in the building. Maestro doing a lot. I see Maestro at all the big events in America, you know. Salute from New York City, Ade. I think the best fights for Wilder are Usyk and then Joyce in order. Marshall should take on Franchon Cruz. What about you? That's what I've been saying. If I'm Marshall, that's what I do. I don't think Claressa's going to run it back immediately with her. In fact, I think Claressa, if I'm not mistaken, has an MMA fight coming up, so she could sit it out. She could sit it out for about 6-7 months. So this is the perfect time for Marshall to get in with someone else. As for Wilder, I want Usyk. Oh my God, I want that fight so badly. I want to see it so badly. If not that, then it's got to be Joe Joyce in it. It's got to be Joe Joyce. So that my three in order are Usyk. Yeah, it's got to be Usyk, Joyce, Ruiz. Some of you might say AJ, and I can understand that one. But I like the idea of Ruiz in America. 2 former champions. I've said it before, Mexican-American, African-American. A lot of heat. Be fantastic. The build-up will be good as well. But yeah, look, Wilder's back and it's just exciting. It's exciting. There's one more super chat. Let's quickly read it. Enoch says, can you be a hard puncher if you don't KO the best? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I mean, guys, he's putting people to sleep where they look like they're not going to get up. Yeah, you can. It's a good question. I know what you mean. Like, he didn't KO Fury, but Fury's just not normal, is he? Off the canvas boxing. Yes, Ade, hope you're well. And Chaos and Lagos could be on the cards. On this weekend, Marshall was good. Shields was great. There's levels to this. Fantastically summed up. Marshall was good. Shields is just great. And look, we got to give Shields even more credit. Shields came here, you know. Shields came to someone else's backyard. Like, it's an American coming over to the UK. Like, all the talk she was talking. Like, when you think of some of the best American performances over here, none of them are talking like that. Not that they're coming over scared, but they're coming over a bit more reserved. You think of Spence versus Kelbrook, a bit reserved. Even Crawford versus Ricky Burns. They're not coming over with smack talk. She came over and was talking the talk from the jump. Right into Savannah's face, like right into and then she delivered. Nah, you have to applaud that. You have to. All right, let's get back to the questions. Let's get back to in order. Where were we? 551 of you. Can you do me a favor as you are on? Can you please hit the like button? If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well. We are trying to get to 40,000 subscribers before the end of the year. We'll see. We'll see. BB says, Wilder smokes Joyce. He doesn't move his head. Basically a punching bag for Wilder. Agreed. Agreed. I'm not, this isn't just sort of, you know, because I've got Wilder in my head now. Like, Joyce gets hit. Joyce gets hit, and we all know Wilder can hit hard. I mean, you don't have to be a genius to work out how that one could play out. Now, look, if Joyce eats Wilder's punch, then we have to put Joyce in the lab and test his skull for everything. I don't think he does. Next fight for Devin Haney, says Carl Sanders. I just mentioned what I want him to do. What I think he will do is go up to 140. What I want him to do is fight Loma. You guys all saw how bad he looked on the scales. He looked like a dead man walking. Obviously, he performed very well, but boy, like, no disrespect to Kambosos, who is a warrior. He ain't no Lomachenko. No sirree. Metalbox J says, why no Fury deadline for Chisora? Could have made the Joshua fight if Fury kept his mouth shut. Very interesting, right? How interesting is that, though? Like, no one's really talking about, like, AJ had a deadline where you got to fight me on December 3rd. You don't send that contract in, we're not fighting. Chisora looks like he's got all the time in the world to do what he wants to do. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What's this one from Brendan Jackson? You've got to be a gargantuan pussy to moan and cry about the digging a grave thing. Yeah, you know what it is? It's weird. It's almost a bit like, this is probably a bad example. Like when I'm interviewing people and they swear, I've got to apologize. I'm like, motherfuckers, we are here to watch people fight. People are getting iced, and you guys are telling me in my ear, Ade, please apologize for the swearing. It's a bit like that. Like, calm down. It is stupid. Right. Super chats have come in. I'm just going to quickly read them because obviously these guys are, you know, nice enough to send it in. I have to read it. All right. Kipper's Delight, thank you for the super chat, says, people who criticize misfits are narrow-minded. It brings eyes to the sport, and importantly, the profits help fund the zone's budget for the championship cards. Interesting take on it, especially that last line, the profits help fund the zone's budget for the championship cards. I do think that if you're DAZN financially, obviously these fights are a lot less expensive to do than maybe other fights, right? Just because I'm guessing these YouTubers, as big as they are, probably get paid less than boxers. I don't know. As for they bring eyes to the sport, they do, but I still think it's now just been separated. I genuinely believe there is no case of like I didn't even really do much crossover promotion yesterday. So I do think the zone have decided, you know what, let's just make it for them, and then we'll just keep our real stuff over there. Let's not do that. Let's not cross over anymore. So it brings eyes on the sport. I don't know though if those people that watch Misfits are going to tune into Katie Taylor versus Carbajal October 30th. I don't think it's going to work like that. I really don't. 2-6. Oh, actually, I've got to read one more before that. Hey, Ade, I bet you're buzzing about Liverpool. What do you think about Adam Smith comment that Savannah should retire after 14 fights? Did he say that? Didn't even hear that. Honestly, if he said that, then come on, Adam, man. What for? Why did he say that? That's crazy. She certainly should not retire. Certainly. I think maybe he might be looking at the landscape and not thinking that what's there for her to fight for. Again, we just mentioned Franchon Cruz DAZN. That's the one. That's what you go for. But there are other fighters out there as well. So she certainly shouldn't retire. Jay Jansen, what about one-on-one with fans tonight, Ade? What's the time? Maybe might do a few minutes. Maybe I might put the link up there and get a couple of you in. Might do that. Maybe. All right, let's have a look. What's this one? 786 NAF, yes, brother, says, after yesterday's results, here are my next ideal fights for the winners and losers. Haney versus Josh Taylor. Kambosos versus Galahad. Galahad? Interesting. You know what? That would be interesting, you know. That would be fiery. I think Kambosos is a bit too big for Galahad, but that'd be interesting. Wilder versus Ruiz. Helenius Dubois, I really like. You know what? That's a very, very good shout. I think they're struggling with Dubois. Obviously, look, it's not going to be next. I think Helenius is going to have a little break. But remember, they tried to fucking Dubois Lucas Brown, which the board were like, no. And now they're trying to put him up against Kevin Lerena. It is Kevin Lerena, isn't it? From South Africa, who was a cruiserweight that's now, and not the biggest cruiserweight either. And now he's moved up to heavy. It's like they don't know what they're doing with Dubois. Helenius is a really good gatekeeper match for Dubois. Really good. I like that. I like that a lot, brother. Sai H says, Ade, the two best fights of the year have been female fights. Is that true? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that is true. I have to think about that. Look, they've been very, very good. And maybe we should stop separating them and just put them all together. They've been very, very good. Obviously, you're talking about Katie Taylor Serrano, which was insane. And then obviously the one we saw yesterday. I will say this, though. That was good yesterday. Not as good as Katie Taylor Serrano for me. Katie Taylor Serrano, I thought was just nuts. Honestly, I thought it was nuts. And just the atmosphere as well. And I'm not just saying this because it was on DAZN and Matchroom, but the atmosphere in Madison Square Garden, half the building was Irish, half the building was Puerto Rican. Insane. Whereas yesterday, 99% of the people in the audience are tuning in or cheering for Savannah. So it just didn't seem fair and balanced. But in Madison Square Garden, it was 50-50 and it was insane. So I'd still have Serrano Taylor as number one by a bit of a distance. 2 seconds. Sai H says, how did Wilder put on so much muscle for Fury fight, then suddenly lose it? I think that's actually pretty easy to do, if I'm honest with you. Like, I'm not even joking. A lot of people have mentioned that. It's not that difficult. Maybe because I'm a bit of a gym guy. I'm not saying I'm fucking body beautiful or anything, but I can put on half a stone of muscle, lean muscle, very, very quickly. That's just with me fucking eating chicken and egg whites and going to the gym and sort of cutting out all the bullshit. So I can understand if you're a top athlete, which Wilder is, I can understand how you can easily put that on. But then when I stop going gym, I just go back to my normal size. So it's easy for him to put that weight on and then to take it off easily. We've got here Brad. I'm gonna read this right. Brad Nuttall caught cold box. Fucking hell, dude. Could you not think of an easier name? Like just BNCCB or something. Big up Addy, the only man who kept it real through the whole Conor Benn saga. Yeah, you know what it is about that. And thank you. A lot of people said that about me, sort of keeping it real. You just want to kind of just speak the truth, don't you? You just want to speak the truth. I always felt like it was a tough situation to be in, but I felt that if you're just speaking the truth, I mean, no one's gonna sack you. And if they do sack you, what can you do? You just got to speak the truth on it. So yeah, that's all I did, man. This is interesting. Dylan Leverbridge says, "Hey Addy, I think people forget Shields fights in PFL. She's been hit with 4-ounce gloves. Very, very true. Very, very true. But I don't think she's been hit by anyone as big as Savannah. Like Savannah looked really big. There was times when she was towering over her, and it's Claressa's speed and just sort of will to win and that kind of Flint fucking spirit that was like, I'm not losing. But Thingy looked much bigger than her. That's why I think she can go up to 168 and just do some damage there. Oscar Bugles says, I want Jake Paul to fight Tommy Fury again at some point and expose him completely, make him look really average, let the screaming fangirls let it all out, and I'm not a Jake Paul fan. Interesting. I don't know what is Tommy Fury doing. I don't even really know. Deep random thinkers is Fury scared, terrified, or petrified of Usyk? Neither. None of the above. Fury's an interesting one, yeah. But I've been around Fury now. Look, you guys know I'm on the AJ side of the fence here. That man ain't scared of anyone. I don't care what anyone tells me. I've been around him. Ain't scared of anyone. And I also think it's just in their nature, sort of the gypsies, that's in their nature. If you have been around gypsies, you just know, not scared of anyone. Not saying that you know, that they can't be hurt and harmed, but ain't scared. All this, even Fury scared of AJ. No, he's not. He's not. I'm not joking. He's not. He's not scared. I don't know what's going on with the Usyk one. We'll see what happens, but he ain't scared. It's not a fear thing with him. There's maybe other stuff going on behind the scenes, but it's certainly not a fear thing. I know people might not like the answer, but it's true. 2 seconds. Just trying to. A lot of you are still saying just hello, hello. This isn't. I don't know. I'm not sure. Brian Newton, Addy, was Usyk ringside at Wilder versus Elenius? Said he would be. Didn't see him. I don't know if he was. I've only seen the fight. I didn't see if he was. He did say he was going to be ringside, and that would have been good because then he should have and would have entered the ring, but I don't think he was, which is disappointing. Is he still not? I thought he was in Ukraine still. Obviously not. Chuck says, you're so right about the Maya commentary. I think Maya won, but the commentary was obsessing about one fighter rather than giving the whole picture. Yeah, it's so bad when they do that. And look, I understand how difficult it is for commentators, but Maya's not a home fighter. I know Sky have this relationship with Top Rank, and Baumgardner's almost a fighter coming in because she's with Matchroom. So I'm guessing there'll be a bit of bias maybe towards Maya, but she's not a Sky fighter. She's not a UK fighter. If she was a UK fighter, you naturally just do it. You just naturally do it. But I was surprised that we're doing it with Maya. It wasn't a lot, but it was clear that they had. It's almost like every bit of good work Baumgardner was doing wasn't really getting the same kind of, like voice from, especially from Adam Smith, that Maya was getting, and I was disappointed. But yeah, it surprised me. Deep Random Thinker says that Usyk will complete the boxing game at 100%. World gold, Olympic gold, Muhammad Ali trophy, undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight, lineal, undefeated pound for pound #1, TBEV greatest. Calm down with the last part. Calm down. Look, Usyk's incredible. He's an insane boxer. Fury's also very, very good. Like, very, very good. So we'll see how that one plays out. Hurricane Hank says Haney had a good gas tank. Surprised me because Kambosos set a pace, and I was thinking, okay, Haney's going to get tired. Kambosos got tired first. I don't know, he's getting hit, he's getting lit up, but again, how Haney looked on the scales, to how Haney looked in the ring, to how Haney then performed. Maybe he stays at 135. Maybe it was just a bit of a drastic weight cut. Maybe he's okay. But he honestly looked like a skeleton. He looked like Conor McGregor at 145. Go and look at Conor McGregor when he's fighting Jose Aldo. Skeleton, gone. He's, you know, when your eyes just get sunk. That's kind of what Devin Haney looked like. And then when I saw him fight night, I was like, what? Is that the same human being? Mad. Let's have a look. Very quick one on this one. Is Inoue versus Butler going to end in tragedy? What do you mean by tragedy? Like Butler losing? Yes. Tragedy in terms of something dangerous happening? This is the danger game, but hopefully not. Hopefully not. Adam Beanie Smith says, put race aside, and the host of this live works for the promoter of... Oh, come on. Oh, 1 second. All right, let's read this. Put race aside, and the host of this live works for the promoter of Baumgardner. The Matchroom effect rubbing off on Ade, now up there with Bellew, Darren Barker, and Chris Floyd cheerleaders. You need to sort your life out. I don't know what it is. Maybe pour yourself a drink or something. Wait. So you think that I wanted Baumgardner to win because she's with Matchroom? You need to... Oh, I can't even... I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you. But yeah, I like the first line. Put race aside. Jesus Christ, man. Adam Beanie Smith. Stop it, brother. Jesus. Oh, God. Emmett Oliver. Hi, Ade. One, Plant was KO of the night. Faint to the body, then bang, brought it from the hip. Yep. Two, people said Helenis took a dive, are clueless. He walked onto it. Three, Fury is an alien. I agree with all of that. All of those things. Fury is... Every time I see Wilder hit someone and them not get up, and that one that Fury got hit with where his body kind of wobbled and he still got up. Honestly, it don't make... And that one was big Wilder. That was Wilder that was a bit bigger, and he put everything. Like, that was as much as on the button can be, and Fury got up. And Hellenius, I don't think, was even on the button, and he literally was out. Fury is an alien. Yeah, so all that Hellenius dive talk is just silly. Honestly, just silly. 2 seconds. Leo Mack says, hats off, you called Shields winning. I thought Savannah was going to win. What a fight. Good fight. Honestly, it was a good fight. Jesus Christ. I've got to read this one out because I don't agree with it. 786 Naf says, I think the Ben fight should have gone ahead. Boxing is a dangerous sport with or without PDs. Just legalize PDs. There'll always be cheaters no matter what consequences are out there. No. I completely disagree. Completely. Look, there are performance-enhancing drugs in a number of sports. And look, if you're running, 100 meters in 10 seconds, fine. You're not hurting no one. I mean, I hate it in athletics. Trust me, I absolutely can't stand it. In boxing, nah. And no chance. I've seen what it does to boxers. I don't know if you guys remember. Do you remember Jarrell Miller? Who did he fight again? Fuck, I can't remember who he fought. This was 2 fights before he was supposed to fight AJ. His punch output was insane. Everyone was talking about, like, Jarrell Miller's punch output is just insane. It's incredible. And now watch him. Go and watch his recent fights. Nothing. The punch output's embarrassing. It's too much. It gives you way too much of an advantage in a sport that is so dangerous. So I know you certainly can't legalize. No chance. Testing needs to get better. Punishments need to get more severe. You're right. Look, it's rife in boxing, but it doesn't mean that because it's rife, let everyone do it. Fuck that. No chance. No chance. Great night of boxing, people are saying. What's this one? Mikey says, ever since hearing Dr. Usman's insights, can't help but second guess any elite boxer's transformation, power build, Canelo, Fury, even Usyk. You never know. Wilder, I want to believe, is a natural freak. Yeah, you're gonna have that now. You're gonna have that where you just look at people and think, you're gonna that Dr. Usman interview. Fucking hell, man. Boxing does need cleaning up, though. It really is the wild, wild west. Anything happens, isn't it? We'll see. What's this one? James says, Ade, does anyone at the Zone give Bellew shit for being ultra biased? Yeah, they do. That's why, as well, I don't know if you guys have read it. Obviously, when Bellew was doing stuff for Sky, I was on commentary. The Zone won't have him on commentary because he's obviously going to be biased, and he admits this as well. He admits this. It's difficult. If you're a friend of someone, it's very, very difficult. But commentators have just got to get better. You've got to get better with it, because when you're watching it, it's just so obvious. Honestly, it's so obvious, man. Look, I'm biased towards AJ, but when people ask me questions like, would AJ beat Fury? I'm like, no, I think Fury wins. You've got to just be honest. You can't just have that blind loyalty. Take off the fucking cap of someone you support and just commentate. Oh, that shouldn't be difficult. Last time you went live, you got a bit of smack from people for not criticizing Eddie Hearn and Conor Benn. You know what? Yeah, people are strange with that shit. Like as much as I try to be real, sit on the green chair. I do report for Matchroom. Like I do their rings. It's like I'm not going to come on here and say Eddie Hearn is you got to be a bit smart. No one in any job would go on fucking this channel, their own channel, and criticize their bosses. Well, don't expect to work for them again. And I actually enjoy doing the reporting. I enjoy it. I find it fun. So yeah, I'm not about to do that. We're not that silly. We're not that silly. 2 secs. We have literally got, how quick's an hour gone, people? Right, let's quickly run through some, because I don't feel like we've answered enough. There's a couple of super chats have come in as well. Let me quickly read them. 2 secs. Yeah, I've read that one. Sorry, guys. Stick with me. Stick with me. Okay. Okay, here we go. Alexander Wilson says, when Haney moves to 140, it will be the deepest division in boxing. BoxRec doesn't even have Dalton Smith in the top 100. It's Murderer's Row. Frightening division. What we're more likely, this little group of 135ers that we got so excited about, Teofimo, Ryan, Javante, Devon, Shakur, obviously a weight class below, but now 135. It's more likely all these guys fight each other at 140 than any of them meeting at 135. They're all going to fight at 140. We hope. We hope. We shall see. There was one more super chat. There is King OP the Great says, are you optimistic the big fights at heavyweight and 135 happen in 23? Will Politrix dominate? Also, when you Politrix, I like that. Politics. Also, when you launch in the No Jumper inspired media channel. Let's go with the first bit. Are you optimistic the big fights at heavyweight at first? Super confident they happen. I'm so confident they happen. I think we're going to get massive heavyweight fights in 2023. Like, I'd be astounded if we don't get Usyk versus Fury or AJ in 2023. Astounded. I will be astounded if we don't get Wilder versus Usyk or Ruiz. It's like, honestly, astounded. If we don't get that, something's gone wrong. But I think we will get that. Launching the No Jumper inspired media channel. I don't even know what that means, brother. Tell me what that means, please, but not through super chat, and I'll quickly read it out before we wrap. Thank you so much for the super chat as well, by the way. You got a proper beard, isn't it? That's a good beard. I took my shit down the other day. I wish I didn't now. What's this one? Edward Hogan says, if Wilder beats Ruiz to become WBC mandatory, do you have an appetite to see the full fight between Fury and him? It's a bit much, especially since it's free love. The third fight was good. Third fight was really, really. Wilder is so unlucky when it comes to this Fury thing. Like, he doesn't have a win over Fury, and he's put him down. Is it 5 times or 4 times? He hasn't got a win. It's crazy. It's crazy how it is. I wouldn't want to see it because there are so many other good matchups in the heavyweight division. But if it's on, I'm watching it. I'll tell you that now. If it's on, I'm watching it. What else we got here? 2 seconds. CRB is in the house. Here we go. Wilder can't fight going backwards. Wilder can't throw off the back foot. Absolutely, Matchroom FC clowns perpetrating Matchroom DAZN propaganda. You need to. He's not obviously talking about me here because I said Wilder can fight on the back foot. But you need to have a drink, please. Go for a jog. Watch a movie. Can I recommend something? Go and watch Mind Hunter on Netflix. Do anything, but don't let this consume you. It's too much. It's consuming your life. This Matchroom FC, this Dead Zone, all this shit. Stop it. Like, you can't. How old are you? How honestly? Wait. In fact, tell me, how old are you? If you, Mr. CRB, are in your 30s, then you need to seek help. Seek help. Jesus Christ, man. What's this? All right, couple more. Loads. Someone said, is my mic working? Sounds tiny. Hopefully it is. 2 cents. All right, what we got here? Literally 2 more minutes before we gotta go. I can't believe this is happening so quick. Saeed, I think we'll see Wilder versus Joshua. Wilder mentioned him, obviously looking for the biggest payday to cash out. I don't think it's a cash out from Wilder. I think someone just said that Wilder's just got one win over a top 10 guy. Obviously, that one win being Luis Ortiz. Maybe Wilder looks at that and thinks, I want to kind of fill up my resume a little bit. I want that fight. Wilder's had the opportunity to have that fight. I think people forget that, but Wilder will fight him. Ade, thoughts on the Spence versus Terence? Hold up, I'm not even talking about Spence Crawford and Terence. I'm Spence Crawford. Done talking about that. I'm so upset about what's going on with that shit. So upset. All right, guys, go. All right, last couple. 1 second. Let me go straight back up to the top. What's this one? The brutal British gentleman. I like that name. Wilder would never fight Usyk, as it's stated by Usyk's team that they're not interested in fighting Wilder. All Usyk wants is undisputed. Then he will go down to cruiserweight and retire. Usyk won't go down to cruiserweight and retire. I don't believe at all. Once you are the size of Usyk now, the idea of cutting weight when you don't have to, when there isn't even a big name for you to fight in the cruiserweight division, he ain't doing that. I think he wants a big fight in America. He's not had that yet. I'll be surprised if a big money offer doesn't come to him, he wouldn't take it. Especially if I don't think it's going to happen, but if the Fury AJ talk grows again, then Usyk will have to fight someone. Someone could be Wilder. All right, guys, girls, we need to leave because we have a DAZN boxing show to do. Apologies, I didn't answer all of your questions. I answered a lot of them. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. We're going to try and keep this going, these Sunday session lives. I'm in Morocco next week. I'll do it next week. I can't even do it. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back early from Morocco next week. Sunday session live next week. No fights, is there really? So we could do it. Anyway, guys, girls, peace and love.